Hello, growers. Looking to turn your homestead into a profitable business? Or are you a farmer looking to boost your sales? Check out my book, Sell Everything You Grow. This book is the ultimate guide to choosing the right farm business model that fits your farm, time, and location. Discover which model has the highest profit margins and why diversification is so important. Whether you're selling apples, vegetables, or microgreens, Sell Everything You Grow will help you find your first market or expand into new ones. Get Sell Everything You Grow on Amazon and start selling more today.
Now, do you have an agreement? So is it like, we're going to sign sort of like a consignment deal for a year? Is it just sort of month to month, week to week? What's sort of the terms of that agreement that you have with them?
So it's kind of a rolling agreement right now. So there's no, kind of set term on that, but it's for the duration that I stock it. They won't stock their own competing products. Of course, they have their own lettuce mixes, which are from the large kind of corporations, but as far as the collards, kale, microgreens, there's no competing product. And so kind of as we get into other products, maybe think like arugula and things like that, that's definitely something I'd want to more kind of iron down. Like, hey, is there going to be competition from your own competing products? But, the rolling kind of agreement is especially working right now because, no one's really going to pull the rug from someone else if suddenly they won't have collards, kale, or kind of anything else like that stocked, certainly. So it's not like a term length, but it's the payout is kind of done week by week or biweekly by biweekly, and that I manage on my end. I have a spreadsheet that I've done up to keep track of that, and they kind of keep track, kind of maybe a bit more by eye. Maybe it's a bit of a trust thing, but that way I can forward. And they have their own point of sale POS system, and so that if there was ever any question, they could always certainly come back and check that. So it's a bit lax. They reach out to me and let me know if something is out of stock or if it's about to be out of stock, and they're like, hey, you got to really run some lettuce mix over. Especially in the fall and around Thanksgiving, things were moving really quick. I was stocking their walk-in cooler with tubs of collards and kale, and they were, you know, uh, 48 hours later, if even, we're like, hey, you need to come and restock some more pretty quick. So they will reach out about that. But as far as the kind of duration, it's kind of more by feel. So I normally swing by every 7-10 days, if not a little bit. 7-10 days is kind of the turnover. The majority of the collards, that's when I spoil everything for collards and kale, and then for the lettuce mixes, that kind of gets restocked every 3 to 5 days, along with the microgreens. So everything's pretty fresh, and I make quite a few runs, normally once if not twice every week to them. So, but that's kind of been with the build up. Originally it was once a week, and then now it's kind of picking up that twice a week. So
That's awesome. It sounds like it's working. It sounds like it. I mean, I don't know what sales look like, but if if you went from once a week to twice a week and at busy times of the year, within 2 days, your extra surplus is already gone. It sounds like it's working out. I have two questions kind of on this part of the conversation. One, now that you've kind of done almost a year, we'll say, working with them, and hopefully you've sort of learned the beats of, all right, Thanksgiving's really busy. Maybe this part of the year is kind of slow. Are you taking sort of those ebbs and flows of their sales into account with your production for this year, for 2026?
yeah, definitely. So I can pretty accurately predict when it comes to like lettuce and microgreens, like what the kind of sales per week is for that. I will say outside of Thanksgiving and kind of around holidays, trying to figure out the sales of collards and kale and things like that is crazy. One week they're gone in 2 days. The next week it seems like nothing kind of moves. I say we don't have a big local food scene in this area. I think we definitely don't. It seems like a lot of grocery stores, not to hate on them, but they seem to sit on some fresh kind of produce for a little bit, and from like even the big chains. And so I think it's that building the trust in the brand, and that it's from me, it's going to be high quality, it's going to last in the fridge. And so I think there's some really loyal customers that is kind of why there's such an ebb and a flow. They'll come by, buy 3-4 of something, and buy half my stock that I might have. But no, I definitely, being able to keep track is pretty important coming into 2026. It's made it enough of an impact on my sales, especially of lettuce mix microgreens, that it's having to be accounted for. It's not just extra kind of fluff or leftover.
Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower, a proud retailer of the Sumi Soaker system. The Sumi Soaker system is an irrigation game changer. It offers multiple advantages for market gardeners. Even gentle watering without dry spots common with wobblers. The system is lightweight and portable, so you can use it with quick rotation crops. It's low maintenance with no parts to break or clog. It's versatile. You can use it for direct seeding, transplants, and cover crops. And it's very cost effective compared to overhead options. And maybe one of its best and most unique features is it can put down water in a rectangular pattern, which is very different than rotating sprinklers that leave circular patterns, often with dry corners and overwatered centers. If you want to learn more about the Sumi Soaker system, use the link below or visit us at shop.moderngrower.co.